Who is Deacon Blackfire?
But God has sent you so that I may bathe in your blood. Bathe in your blood.
Blackfire's origin is shrouded in mystery, and it is difficult to truly decipher myth from fact. This is what is known of his story. Our story begins in Gotham, as a mystery was unfolding in the city. Several brutal murders had taken place, and many homeless people were disappearing with no explanation. This even began to frighten the criminals, and the streets were now silent. Most of these victims were last seen near the sewers. The sewers of Gotham were overrun with homeless people and considered to be the most dangerous part of the city. Soon Batman heard of this mystery and began to investigate. As he approaches the alley near the sewer, he hears a gunshot and rushes to investigate. Batman finds some street thugs attacking a man and rushes to stop them. Suddenly he is shot by a homeless man and dragged into the sewer. Hours later, Batman awakes disoriented and discovers that he has been chained up inside the sewers. He is soon met by another homeless man who begins to tell tales of their shaman, Deacon Blackfire. Deacon Joseph Blackfire was a Native American shaman who lived among a tribe. Joseph was thought to be a savior by some of the tribe and gained some loyal servants. Blackfire was thought to be sent from God and known to bathe in human blood. Controversy soon emerged when Blackfire committed heresy by killing a tribal chief. After living for over a century, Blackfire was entombed alive for his crime. His loyal servants were devastated and soon carved an idol for worship in his tomb. The tribe soon experienced a harsh famine and were forced to find a new land to call home. During their migration, they were mysteriously slaughtered by another tribe. After Blackfire's death, there were several sightings of him throughout history. These sightings were usually followed by tragic events, adding to the legend of a curse. The sewers were full of homeless people who believed Blackfire was a messiah and were willing to kill for him. Batman began to disregard their religious theories, then they are interrupted by a voice. Deacon Blackfire then walks into the tunnel and approaches Batman. He was still incredibly disoriented, but then remembered seeing this man recently. He had opened up a homeless shelter in the city just weeks earlier. His servants continued to speak of their undying devotion to Blackfire, and then begin to force feed him rancid food. He then welcomes Batman to his underworld and explains that God has sent him there. Each time Batman rejected their beliefs, a servant would begin to torture him. Sometime later, Batman feels his mind slipping as he begins to hallucinate. He was continuously met by his followers who would tell Batman their stories. Some of these people even claimed that Blackfire had tortured them before they were converted. Blackfire explains his mission to rid the world of evil and claims the recent murders were executions ordained by God. Blackfire notices that Batman still does not believe in him, then he insists he follows him deeper into the sewers. As they travel deeper, Batman's hallucinations become much stronger. They finally arrive in a tunnel with a massive idol of Blackfire. Batman was in awe and finally believed that Blackfire was indeed the savior of humanity. Days later, Batman soon finds himself trapped in a nightmare. He is in an intense battle with the Joker and Two-Face, and then violently kills them. Batman suddenly awakes from this nightmare, only to realize the reality is much worse. He had just unintentionally murdered criminals for the Deacon's holy mission. Batman had found himself at the lowest point in his life. He was broken, starving, and quickly losing his sanity. Commissioner Gordon is soon alerted of the recent crimes and begins to investigate Deacon Blackfire. He is puzzled when he discovers police records dating back to over a century ago. With the growing terror in the streets and mysterious murders, the police force makes a public warning. This infuriates Blackfire, so he rallies his servants to take over the city. His servants soon started acts of terrorism, including car bombings and more murders. As Batman began to regain his consciousness, he was soon captured and chained up. Finally makes an attempt to escape, although he is thrown into the water of the sewer. Just in time, Robin had watched this fight and dived into the sewers to save him. Robin finally washes out into a tunnel filled with corpses and infested with rats. He finally finds Batman, brainwashed and completely depleted. Robin helped Batman escape, although he was still suffering from severe hallucinations. Batman had reached his lowest point ever, and even contemplated giving up his mission on Gotham City. Robin was soon able to help Batman regain his consciousness, and they began to track down Blackfire. On their way out of the sewer, they discover Blackfire bathing in blood. The people of Gotham were in total panic when Blackfire's army attempted to take over Gotham. Even the National Guard went down to the sewers and were slaughtered. The governor asked for federal aid and declared Gotham City a disaster area. He decided to tell all remaining citizens to leave the city.
We interrupt our programming. This is a national emergency. Important details will follow.
The streets had been overwhelmed with violent homeless people, which made Batman and Robin go to extreme measures. They even used weapons with tranquilizer darts and a massive vehicle to end this threat. The battle eventually led down into the sewers to find Blackfire. The heroes are nearly overwhelmed several times, and eventually Robin is shot in the leg and can't go further. After searching the depths of the city, Batman finally discovers Blackfire.
Who dares disrupt this ritual?
Batman, is that you? Get me out of here!
This is sacred ground, heathen. You do not belong here. But God has sent you so that I may bathe in your blood too.
He even begged Batman to kill him in order to turn himself into a martyr for his followers. The Dark Knight was disgusted by his manipulation, so he began to beat Blackfire beyond recognition. After he was beaten, his followers realized that he was nothing more than a man. Then his homeless army turned on Blackfire and brutally killed him. As Batman left, he lit Blackfire's totem on fire, and the entire city began healing, putting an end to the nightmare.
Look around you, Batman. Look at what you seek to protect. Gotham is fallen. Why are you still fighting? This is over.
Blackfire was seemingly dead, although years later another mysterious event would occur. Some of his loyal servants still remained in secrecy, and were now known as the Cult of Blackfire. The cult was thought to be able to summon his ghost, adding more mystery to the story. Deacon Blackfire has been the closest to completely breaking the Dark Knight, and is thought to be one of Gotham's most disturbing and delusional criminals. Blackfire is thought to just be a deranged leader, although if the legends are true about him, This makes him capable of great power, influence, and even immortality. Please like this video and subscribe for more unknown comic origins.